everyone, it's Halloween Heartthrob, and today I have a DECORA KEI doll. Now, this doll gave me a little bit of trouble, and the doll that you are seeing right now is not the doll that I used. I started out with the Howleen because I saw the bright pink hair and I thought, wow, this doll is perfect, and she's got the little sister body. I haven't worked with one yet, so I was excited to use her. But then I saw that I had my rainbow yarn that I still haven't used, and I didn't want to get rid of Howleen's hair, so I used one of the new Draculaura's when Monster High redid everything. Basically what I did is I took some acetone 100% and removed the face up with cotton balls and Q-tips. I also got rid of her hair using scissors and pliers. My favorite method of removing the doll's hair is to use an Exacto knife to cut a hole in the back of the doll's head, just like a little sliver, so you can pull out all the plugs with your pliers, and then I close it up using super glue. I've also rerouted a doll's hair using this method too, and all I had to do was just go gently near the super glue. Now it's time to prep the yarn. All of this yarn was all together, and the only thing separating it was some slight gradient, so I went through, separated all the colors, and after that I painted the doll's head rainbow colors. This wasn't necessary because the yarn is thick enough to cover all of it, but it was a good guide for me to figure out where to place the colors and how much of the colors that I wanted. Now I just reroute the doll using a homemade reroute tool, and I plug and plug and plug till the whole head is covered, and I don't do every single hole because, like I said, yarn is thick. So now that her head is completely rerouted with some white yarn on the front for her bangs, I decided that I didn't like the yarn just the way it was, so I took 3 days to separate all of it. It was a labor of love, but I definitely enjoy the outcome of it. It's so squishy and full. Now, as you saw in the last clip, I decided to brush out the yarn for her bangs, just to kind of give it a softer look. I wanted it to kind of be like clouds, like a rainbow head, and I kind of got an identity crisis with this doll, if you will, because I wanted to turn her into a rainbow goddess, or like a sky goddess or something, but then I had to kind of rein myself back in and be like, no, you have a project to do, you've already planned it out. A big reason why I wanted to separate the yarn is because I have a lot of friends with very, very curly hair, and that's kind of what it reminded me of, so I wanted to have a little diversity because most of my dolls have very straight or slightly wavy hair. After styling her hair, which basically means me just cutting her bangs and wrapping the rest of her hair in a giant burrito that's almost as big as she is, which is slightly hilarious, I start on the face up. Now I started with a light brown sketch. I am not 110% happy with how this face up went because it kind of looks like she's looking up too much as well as winking, so I'm just gonna pretend like that's her in-mitt selfie face because she's a DECORA girl who really likes to take selfies of herself. Yeah, that's what we're going with. So after I have the basic sketch down, I start with pastels, and then I darken everything with the colors that I want, and to top it off, I add a little bit of makeup. I'm still trying to work on how to do makeup properly without making it look horribly messy for the eyeshadow, and then I did some rainbow dots around her face. I was going to do like stars and hearts, but I really liked the almost simplicity of the way the dots looked, and the lipstick did turn out a little bit dark, and I still haven't decided if I want to like last minute open her mouth with like a little bit of white paint, but I really like the dark lipstick and I feel like it's a good contrast so it doesn't take away too much from her hair. Now finishing with the face up, I do the light reflections, and I tried to do a star but it looked really weird, so I scratched that idea and just did a little dot. I don't know if you noticed, but I also added some glitter in her eyes, so that made me happy, and I finished the entire face up off with one last layer of Mr.Super Clear and some Dura Clear gloss varnish on the eyes and the lips. You guys said that you wanted to see me making the clothing. And boy, oh boy, is this the perfect episode for that. Because I went through like 3 different outfit choices. So as you can see here, I have a little vest that I made. I just have a regular t-shirt pattern that I elongated and made a little bit wider on the hips so it would go around, and I added some holographic ribbon, and I made this dress, which all I did was cut off the sleeves of a t-shirt pattern, again made it longer, and then put the layer of fancy, I don't know what you would call this, shiny layer of whatever on top of it, because I thought it was cute. And it is cute and long, but it seemed to be too long. And what you saw in the beginning was a red shirt, and I thought I would just continue with everything and it would just get better, but it doesn't. So I finished the shirt and I put a pin in it so I could keep it closed. It's like a poofy shirt with 2 pieces of ribbon to keep it closed, and I like the outfit pieces. I kind of liked it together, and I said, you know what? No, I don't like this. So I scrapped that idea and decided to make a t-shirt because most of the references I've seen were wearing shirts. These, minus the sleeves, are the pattern pieces that I used to make the shirt. How I made these is just outlining the doll and held up the piece of paper until it looked correct. And once you find out a pattern that works with your doll, now you have a pattern for everything. So I had sewn on the sleeves, I hemmed the sleeves as well, and all I have to do is just sew from the sleeves down to the side and then I'm done. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but I also added some lace to the collar. Once the shirt was finished, it's time to go on to the skirt. Now I wanted to make a gathered skirt out of this rainbow peace sign pattern because I liked it from the vest that I made in the first outfit. And then I added 3 layers of that see-through shiny stuff because I thought it would be pretty and whimsical. They're 3 different colors, but you can't tell. So I'm not exactly on board with this idea, so I pushed through and add a waistband. And guess what? I hate it. I still hate it. I tried to finish it, but I said, you know what? No. So I cut the waistband off, and it's time to start outfit number 3. Now for the last outfit, I made another t-shirt using this heart fabric. Now you can't see the shapes of the hearts because they're too big, so I just picked my 2 favorite designs and went with that. And now for the skirt, I wanted to make another gathered skirt, so I took these rainbow fabric, well not rainbow fabric, but colors of the rainbow, and I cut them into little rectangles and sewed them all together. After I was done sewing them together, I hemmed it and then I gathered it. Oh yeah, and throughout this entire process, don't forget to iron. Ironing your projects are very important, especially on doll scale, because that'll force it to go where you want it. Here are some clips of me trying the pieces on the doll before I fully finish them. It's really important to make sure you continuously try on the clothing that you're making for dolls. I decided to add a little bow to the front of the shirt and to the back of the skirt. For the skirt, it's just kind of like a Sailor Moon homage, if you will. You probably won't see it because of how big her hair is. And my cousin said something about a raincoat with a red lining, and I wanted to make that immediately. So thank you, Katie. I just made this jacket by elongating the sleeve pattern as well as the shirt pattern. And I sew everything together, turned it inside out, iron them, and sew them together like you would a shirt. And now comes the best part. Oh yeah, I forgot that I also made her a petticoat. It's just some mesh scrunched up with a elastic and some lace on the bottom just to give the skirt a little bit more flair. Now, I absolutely love this outfit. I'm so glad I finally found something that I liked after 3 tries. I really honestly thought I wasn't going to get the look of this doll right, so I got really scared, but asking my friends and badgering them about fabric choices, I finally was able to settle on something I really enjoyed, and I'm not gonna lie, I kinda want that skirt for myself, so I may or may not do a video on how to do that for humans. Are you interested? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but she does have pink arms and pink hands. Now, those are supposed to be gloves, which stinks, but realistically, she doesn't show most of her arms anyways. They'll be covered by bracelets, and, you know, I don't feel like it's that much of a stretch for a Decora girl to wear pink gloves. And I think it's kind of cute, so that saves me the trouble of having to use non-gloved hands for this doll. That, and I can save the non-gloved hands for dolls that actually show their forearms and have hand things. Last minute, I decided to give her a purse. Initially, I was going to make a backpack for the first doll, and after the second outfit failed, as well as her gigantic rainbow hair, I gave up on the idea of a backpack. But once the outfit was finished, and I finally picked something that I liked, I thought she needed a little bit more orange, so why not an orange slice purse? So in the style of a messenger bag, I used whip stitch and felt to put this bag together. Now, the orange purse was not without fail, and the first iteration of it, I made it with felt triangles, and that just looked really weird. But in the end, I feel like I got it together. And I used white acrylic paint and just painted straight on to draw the lines. Alright, so moving on to like fail number 5, 6, what is this? I hate making doll shoes. I don't know why. Everybody has their thing. I love everything else about the doll process. I love making the clothes, doing the face up, rerooting the hair, you know, even painstakingly separating yarns so I can get a certain type of hairstyle, but I just can't make shoes. I hate it. So I tried clay, and then I tried hot glue, which I'm not sure if I even showed, but then I just removed it all and took a pair of pre-made Monster High shoes, trimmed them down a little bit, and popped them on over some socks that I made. Which, by the way, are open-toed, so I don't know if it's like ankle warmers. And now for the finishing touches, all the little details. As her many barrettes, I used these little nail art deco pieces. I'm not sure, I got them off eBay. There's a whole bunch of different kinds. And I put them all over her hair. I hot glued them on because I have no intention of taking them off. If I do, they easily come off. It'll probably just rip a little bit of the hair, like make the yarn a little bit fluffy, but yeah, I'm okay with that. I also added a little bow at the bottom of her skirt, as well as a heart button kind of midway on her skirt. I decided she looked a little bit too plain for a Decora girl, so I made her 2 necklaces and 4 bracelets. However, in the last bit of filming, one of her bracelets exploded, so I have to redo that. So yeah. And then after all of this, she's finished. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Comments are always welcome, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!